Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Pillow Talk. I'm assuming that because you're here in my bed that you have listened to episode 2 of season 3 of Sex.Life. Now we get to find out all the juicy details behind the scenes. So today on Pillow Talk, I've got heaps of photos to show you because I think I talk about so much of the fun and wild things that are happening for this 15 turning into 16-year-old Morgan. So I've got the hotel where I may or may not have lost my virginity, depending on if you've listened to that episode or not. And if you haven't, go and do that. I have pictures of the oyster-shucking gloves. Turns out they're still being made. I found the exact pair. I catch up with one of the boys that I talk about in the episode. And the bit that I am most nervous about, I sat down straight after Mumma Cares heard the episode, and I was already really nervous about this anyways because nobody knew the story about the maths tutor, aka the older accountant. So we get to see her reaction to that. Straddle up, straddle on, straddle in, whatever you're into. Let's get into Pillow Talk episode 2. This kind of makes me feel like I'm in a court case or something, like Exhibit A. These are the oyster-shucking gloves. Now, I know even the colour is confronting and does not reek of sex appeal, but let me tell you what is sexy about them. They are ribbed and textured and like ridgy, so that if you're grabbing an oyster, it doesn't jump around and like become a slippery little sucker. So that's what I put on, and obviously I was like 14, 15, and I had skinny little arms, so they came up to like here, like almost as if I was going to like impregnate a cow or something. And can you just imagine me sitting on top of a man just going for it? But the thing is, like, it was because it's so ridgy, there's no real like smooth sliding. It was grip. It was like oh, that's some fond memories right there. It's time for some photos. A little walk down memory lane to just flesh out the stories from the podcast. Oh, this makes me cringe. Not just my haircut or the speed dealers, but that is the spa. That's the spa that I hopped in with the accountant, my maths tutor. There's also fond memories there as well. I used to have a lot of spas with that in a non-sexy way. Here's a couple of photos of me getting into my different work cars when I was about 16, moving into 17 there. I even made my brother come and work for free at some of the radio station promos. This is the Rutherford Hotel where I lost my virginity. I just wanted to show you because like I can't go back to Nelson and drive past that place without being like, whoop! Any hymen remnants left there? No, that's gross. I don't even know why I said that. It's just, it came out. It did come out. Actually, here's a piece that I don't talk about. Years later, I actually bump into this guy and he said something about, I cleaned up after you. And I was like, what does that mean? And he's like, well, you bled. I was like, did I? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God, that feels like such a sacred part of me that I didn't get to experience or know about. I don't know about this guy. I want you to meet the BMX guy, the roses guy, you know, the one that we're in a relationship and I don't want to get physical and I'm starting to do farts to repel him and I rip up his flowers. So I reached out to him and told him that he was going to be mentioned in my podcast and just give him a little bit of an FYI. And then he said to me, well, I'm actually coming to Auckland. And I said, well, bloody hell, let me cook you dinner. Come on over. And so we had a little catch up. Here it is. So I'm currently at my dining room table and I have the BMX boy sitting opposite me. Hello.
Hello.
We've had like a lovely night and he's also agreed to answer some questions. He was quite keen to be on camera, but for reasons we can't disclose, that's not available to us tonight. Do you remember me being farty?
I do, but only because I was impressed. And I could see through the farts.
The density wasn't too big?
Clearly not.
What was it like being in a relationship with me back then?
Well, we were very young, so it was very exciting.
You're a romantic. You wrote me beautiful letters, you sent me flowers. How did you know how to romance?
Well, I didn't, is the short answer, and I would say I just followed what I thought might appeal to you. And, something that would woo a good lady like yourself.
Did I make you do any chores around the house when you were in Nelson?
I don't recall any, and you actually may have asked me this question earlier just to get the juices flowing. I actually can't remember any chores. I do remember orders.
Orders?
Which were either hivers or spandex were mandatory, if not both available as one single unit. So there were certain things that needed to be obeyed. That was certainly one of them.
Oh my God, I remember we went to that museum and we both dressed up in my high-vis vests, and we just rolled around like everything was normal, and people were looking at us like, what are the road workers doing here? What's the emergency? Okay, so if you were to paint a picture of 14-year-old Morgan, the girl that you first met, how would you describe her?
At that time, she was kind of this mysterious girl, actually, that I had heard about but not seen, and then met, and probably understood the mysteriousness, but equally the intrigue and appeal.
What was the most difficult thing about being my boyfriend?
The distance.
Do you have any regrets about our time together?
No way, because we're sitting here today having an awesome time, and if I regretted something, it would suggest that that path that's led us to here today right now might be jeopardized, and I love what we've got.
If you were a man that was about to try and attempt to date me now, what advice would you give him?
Don't.
Fuck you, why?
I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Just show up and be who you are. Don't present somebody you're not, because Morgan will see straight through that.
Do you reckon farts would be good on a first date?
100%. I'd actually be disappointed if there weren't farts exchanged on the first date. It would be concerning to me.
Well, thank you so much for letting me just bloody interrogate you about our past. And for still showing up and being my friend today.
Yeah. I love our friendship. It's great.
Yeah, it's a real gift. While I was looking for photos for this episode, I found something that I wish I didn't. It is a song about the day I lost my virginity. And it is so cringy. It is so embarrassing that it has to be shared. But what is unfolding in this season 3 of the podcast is that there is some really weird impromptu singing that is coming out from me. And I just didn't know that this was going to be a storyline. And I just think we've heard enough already. I shouldn't be singing. I've got a bad voice. And I've just decided that this needs to be heard, but I'm not going to sing it. So we've brought in a pro.
Hello. This is the song that Morgan wrote after losing her virginity. She's given me the handwritten lyrics and asked if I can help bring it to life, because she assumes you don't want to hear her sing anymore. So this is a song that I've called From Caterpillar to Butterfly. It's written by Morgan Penn, age 16. Haley's version. She got the call, got herself showered, butterflies going mad in her stomach. Could this be the day she had thought about for so long? The ride in the elevator to the 8th floor didn't help, and she wondered if this was the wrong decision. beautiful morse.
You are about to see an interview that I did with Mumma Cares straight after she listened to episode 2. And this was big for me. This was actually quite hard. I knew that she was going to have a strong reaction to hearing about the accountant / my maths tutor and his inappropriate behaviour towards me. Rachel and I, the producer, were really stretched for time this week to get this recorded, and I said, I'll just do it without you, I'll record it without you. And then I was like, oh my god, hell no, I am not interviewing Mumma Cares about that after her hearing about that by myself. You have to be in the room, you have to be my buffer, hold my hand, we're in this together. Wish me luck. Hi Cares.
Hi Morgan.
Shall we just rip the band-aid off?
Just bloody get in there, will you? Just go.
Okay, you've literally just listened to episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a story in there that I was really nervous about you hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about the maths tutor that you had hired to tutor me because I was so shit at maths.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that had happened?
I was suspicious. I remember being at the marae and being absolutely worried, really worried. I remember the panic and thinking, can I get home? I knew something wasn't right.
Really? Was it instinct or were there some clues?
I think there might have been some clues.
So when you did get home, did you think something had happened? Did you ask me?
I think you were pretty good at covering your tracks. You had reassured me that nothing had happened, you were all right, but I was certainly, I knew something wasn't right. I'm sorry that happened to you, and it is, I'm sorry that you felt bad about that too, because you shouldn't have. It was on him. He was an adult, you were a kid. So, I don't think you take any of that on board and feel bad about that, because he was in the position of looking after you and teaching you, not that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that happened to you.
Thank you, Kez. I can feel my whole body softening just hearing that, because I felt bad, naughty about that. So thank you.
Yeah, I think all adults need to check themselves and know that they're an adult when they're in the presence of children or young people. So
I couldn't agree more. So now that you do know all that story, what do you think about that guy?
Oh, well, let me just go and rip his head off there. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty disgusting, really. I'm also interested when I'm listening to the episode about your attraction for older men, and I wonder if that's because your father didn't play a big part in those years.
That's an interesting line of inquiry, actually. Is this like a parent's dream, getting to hear everything that the teenager did, or is this quite confronting for you?
I think there's a little bit of confronting, but I think kids forget that their parents know a lot. I feel very honoured that I can be a part of hearing your, unfolding of coming into your womanhood. And, not every parent gets that. Hey.
It's really sweet.
Hey.
I love you.
I love you too. You know that.
Talk me through the chores. How I used to get boys to do chores.
You were so creative, these boys. I think the Rose's boy and the German ended up in the same carport at one point. One was vacuuming out the boot and one was sweeping the driveway. And I think I got a bit more creative with my jobs because I knew the boys were going to turn up and do them, so I knew I could do some bit more heavy, put some bigger jobs on you.
You were playing the game too.
Well, How we had to get the jobs done.
We had to get the jobs done.
Would you say that Morgan hasn't actually grown out of that? Did you get a new desk recently?
I was just going to say, these episodes are going to reveal this, and people listening will pick up, hey, she's just still doing that. That still works for her.
When Mum was like, when are you going to get these big boxes out of the way, out of the house and get things built? And I was like, yeah, I'm just waiting for the so-and-so to come around and do it for me.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I thought you were going on a date. And I was like, that is the date. He's building my flat packs.
Yep.
Ant and I had our first kiss in that episode. How was it hearing that?
Can we talk about the shenanigans before that, though?
Whoa!
The orange gloves, I can't believe we went to the school fair and you are looking for textures, and biggest belief, really. Well, it doesn't. I know why you're a sexologist. You were on the path way back then. Yeah. No, but the first kiss, I think that was really lovely, really tender, really sweet. And I think he was a very good man, very respectful. And he got a girlfriend because he knew you weren't old enough. And I think that's the difference, with Ant and the maths teacher. I wasn't worried when you were with Ant, because he had shown his true colours and he was respectful, and I trusted him. I think it comes down to trust. The maths teacher, there was a difference, and I didn't trust him like I trusted Ant. It's interesting to think about that and put that together.
Are you proud of me for waiting until I was 16 to have sex?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
He's a bit of a dick though, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. He didn't care for you at all. But it was better than perhaps, you chose quite a lot of that night, that time, and you had a right to choose that. And it was premeditated. And that's perhaps more empowering than just getting boozy and doing it in the backseat of a car.
Kiss?
Yeah. Yes.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, well.
Did you do your home play from episode 1?
Well, I tried to think about who my hero was, and I don't know, we didn't sort of have, there was no superheroes back then or anything like that. What else was in the home play?
You're allowed to masturbate to a crush.
Oh, I've been too busy. Who wants to hear of a 70-year-old bloody going off to, I don't know, Tom Jones? I don't know.
I celebrate it, please.
Yeah, okay. Let's say I've been busy. Busy. All facets of my life, yeah. Yeah. Hey, I just want to say about the loo paper.
Oh, for God's sakes, yes.
You've always had a thing about the loo paper. I didn't realise it came from way back then at the BP. That having to go down there because Jay and I were having the shits. Man.
Yes, you did this to me.
But like, even today, if I said you need to get toilet paper,
yeah,
you would not bring it home. You can do it on online shopping.
That's what I do.
But if I asked you that I was running low on loo paper, could you bring me some? You would not. You would not. And now I know where that comes from. I thought it was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it.
Cute.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so,
Kiz.
Yeah.
Here's a special clip that I want to show. You may have already seen it if you have watched the video recording of episode 2. This is where Hayley and I go full rage. And why I want you to see it, in case you've only heard it, is because there's something really primal about it. And I just feel like for the collective of women especially, there's something cathartic about watching this. And I filled the studio with condoms because it was on, well, okay, I'll tell the truth. I have a whole lot of expired condoms. I know, you would think I'd be having that much sex, I'd get through my condoms. I filled the studio with condoms just to get excited because it was my losing my virginity episode. And then when we got to the end of it, we were so mad that we decided to pop and hulk out. And so I just want you to see this and feel it. And if you feel angry, like, go and let off some steam in a safe and healthy way.
Okay, how do we get out of this?
Okay, let's all shake it off because it was a bit heavy and you've got rage, so let's roar it out, the collective rage for all women.
Let's flip a fucking chair.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna throw my diary. For all women. Fuck you. All these fucking condoms in here. It's so good. It feels so good.
Thank you so much for joining us on Pillow Talk episode 2. I hope you enjoyed some of those little tasty morsels. My favourite was definitely this song. Thank you, my little empowered puswa, Hayley. Next week, oh my God, I'm excited about this one. I'm going to share a legal battle that I've literally got going on behind the scenes like right now. It's still very much in my world. I'm going to show pics of the first boy that munched me out. And we get to hear what my brother thinks about that, which is all sorts of weird, but like, this is my life, so why not? There'll be lots more. I just haven't gotten there yet, but by next week, I'll be there. I'll be queer. Thanks for being here.